Markets are pumping. Markets are dumping. What are we going to do? Avalanche with some killer news. What does it mean? Is it about to explode? Of course, XRP also making some moves in the market with a pretty big rollout. We got to talk about what's going on in the market. Everybody get active in this live chat. We are live. We're going to be going, live with the actual show in about 2 minutes. So everybody show some love, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. And I want every single one of you just to take in, zoom out on the chart and realize that this market is pumping even when you get these small little shakeouts. What does it mean? What targets are we looking at? We're going to be diving into that. It's going to be a little bit shorter show today because I have something I have to jump into right at noon, but that's okay because we got a lot to cover. So everybody get active. I can't wait to dive into some of these charts with you. And with that, let's go ahead and let's get this music playing. Yeah, the market's still pumping, even though you got a little bit of a reset. That's okay. Let's go.
Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish shelter. It's not our fault. Blame the coal. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping. Altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pumping. Altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pumping. Altcoin, pumping.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody
to
tell me
quality.
nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
It's time to dive into these charts, everybody. We got some things to talk about. Everybody get active. We got a number of people already in the room and a lot more people about to show up. We're going to be running through it today. So everybody get your happy faces on because we got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Markets are pumping. Markets are dumping. What are we talking about? Zooming out on these charts, you can see that the markets have been ripping over the last 2 months. And we're having these little bit of stair steps and people lose their mind the second it pulls back, just like not even a little bit. So we need to be a little bit more appropriate about what we're seeing in these markets because look at what is going on right now. We see the price action has just been melting very slowly. Rising consolidation up into the zone. Now, does this give us a little bit of a cause for concern? Potential move down, oh my God, to 103, maybe even back down to 100. All this will be all in good structure for the bullish market if that happens. If this is able to continue melting up like this, consolidating up like this, having the move back above this 108, that next target that we're looking towards is up here in that $114,000 region, and then way up here, much higher once this continues on. So we need to be more appropriately focused on what's happening in this market because it is doing everything that we actually want to see it doing. And all the bullishness that we've seen over this last year, really since January 11th, when the Bitcoin spot ETFs went live, and then all these new capital channels, and then the government's now accepting it. We have some bullishness. We're going to be running right through it today. So shout out to our channel partners right here, CoinW, of course, NordVPN and Arculus. My name's Kellam. We're going to be breaking down meaningful tools, content, resources, and of course, here together as a community that we are, what's going on in this market. At the end of the day, is it really a pullback when we're sitting here at 3.7, I was $1 trillion off. $3.7 trillion market cap. This is magic magic for where we're at right now and where we are going. Not too long ago, we were under 2 trillion. And I mean, guys, this is just so bullish. I mean, look at this. If you just zoom out, just on the 7 days, even up, up, up. Okay, tether flat, just like it should be. A little bit of a move up, down. Actually, Solana is actually not looking as bullish as a lot of other coins right now. Matthew Hyland's been pointing that out. BNB also kind of consolidating here. But let's just go through some of the things we want to talk about. Ripple released the RLUSD, is now live on global exchanges. In fact, not only is it live on global exchanges, it is also, it was announced on the New York Stock Exchange account as well, as with some of their broadcast bringing that to the forefront. And I do think this is going to bring a lot more liquidity and interest to what's going on in the XRP market, and we can actually see that reflected in what's happening here. I mean, we obviously got the news about Gary Gensler resigning. We got just bullishness sort of released. The suppression that's been on this market for 3+ years is now coming up into a beautiful bull flag here with a slight bit of a breakout. Of course, this is on the weekly. If we look at this on the 4-hour chart, we can see these sort of stair stepping up like this. Now look at this beautiful attempted reversal pattern right here. If this can clear that, what is this? Roughly just under $3, about $2.96. The next leg up will be beautiful. I mean, this 1.618, if I zoom out, well, that's 1.786, my bad. Right here, about 334, and the next leg up there is 469. Can we get there? I do think we can. It's all going to depend on what this sort of market momentum does throughout the end of this year into Q1. I do think Q1 is where we're going to see a lot of the major explosive gains that we've been waiting for on the altcoins. So this is great news, not only for Ripple and XRP, but also some of that bullish momentum and that risk on and institutional eyeballs that are on what's going on with the crypto ecosystem. Now, continuing on, we also saw this right here. Michael Saylor shared this. I actually shared another version of this, but I figured I'd share Michael Saylor's. It's time to bet. It's time to bet on freedom. It's time for our states to invest in Bitcoin to build national strategic reserves. This is being said on the floor of the UN. This is the type of thing that we want to see. The race is going to be on before we know it. It's already starting behind closed doors with some stealth buying, with some stealth mining, without the acknowledgement and the publicity and press releases around it. So this is the type of thing we want to see. This is the seed. These seeds have been planted and they've been germinated, and they're going to be pushing through the soil for very soon, showing a lot of buying pressure coming into this market. So let's keep our eyes on that. And then, are we too high? Well, the current demand from new investors has already exceeded the March demand at the $70,000 level. We have more demand over $100,000 than we did at $70,000. And we can see that based on this metric right here. The demand and supply between new and old investors, we are eclipsing. This is where it's starting to heat up, and it hasn't seen anything yet. You can see back here when we had the strength of the bullish trend, when all that appetite came in. We have got so much to go before we have a major, before we can really talk about a top. I do want to say quadruple double special shout out to one of our friends and family here in the BitLab community, Nicole Tater here in the chat. It is her birthday. Happy special happy birthday to you. I do appreciate you being here and bringing so much to the community. Now, moving back on, because we have to go fairly quickly today, I want to be able to get into some TA with you, and I will be having, I couldn't do the morning turbo TA session that we've been doing for members this morning. I'm going to be doing one this evening for you. Now, continuing on, what do we see? Spot market demand, same thing I was just talking about. Another metric to look at it. Spot market demand takes the lead as Bitcoin continues its upward momentum. Not only is it demand in the market, but spot, meaning it's not derivatives, it's not options. It's people going in and saying, here's $100, give me $100 worth of Bitcoin. Spot. So you're getting that one for one. And this is excellent. While futures markets activity has declined, spot market demand continues to increase. This suggests that speculative excess in the futures market is cooling while buying pressure in the spot market is gaining strength. This is a lot of times, I don't want to say smarter investors, but some of the over leveraged plays that are happening have kind of cooled off with some of those recent shakeoffs. but also that also suggests that there could be larger buying pressures coming in of people that are looking to buy and hold, because this is spot buying, and this is what we want to see for health in this market. Additionally, just reinforcing that further, Bitcoin reaches 107,000. In fact, today it went over 108,000, an all-time high, and demand continues to outpace supply. Demand outpacing supply has pushed Bitcoin towards new highs. This is, I mean, look at it. Was this yesterday? New highs of 106, and then it was 107. Now it's 108 from today. For example, Bitcoin OTC, which is over the counter, when people are buying in bulk from either miners or other pools, that's not taking it from the open market where it actually causes fluctuation in price. Bitcoin OTC desks are seeing their largest monthly balance decline so far this year, minus 25,000 Bitcoin, as demand continues to grow. Additionally, their balance has fallen by 40,000 Bitcoin since November 20th. This is what we want to see. We see the OTC balance dipping as the demand, the positive apparent demand, has just been a steady sort of pressure here as the price action is pushed up. This is what we want to see. And I actually agree with that right there. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen, because I got a chart for you at the very end we're going to talk about before we continue on here. Shout out to the dog community. If you're a dog holder, throw dog, do the $ dog ticker in the live chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching, because we got, I mean, this is one of the strongest communities in the crypto ecosystem. Now, continuing on, people are still worried. Is it too high? What the hell are you talking about? Bitcoin new all-time high, but this is not the top. The Satoshi meter is loading, but is only 9. We have still a lot of upside. You can see how high this goes. Just zoomed in here, over 20, over 20, over 20. We are so low here for where we can go before we get that ultimate top. And I do agree with this metric. Kelly, I'm up in Lake Arrow, Ondo, AVAX, ICP, DOT. Should I hold all or cut one and add more to the rest? AVAX, ICP are the two. Excuse me. I'm looking at overall portfolio up 76%. That's great. I mean, all those projects I think are going to do well this cycle. So it's going to come down to maybe one's outpaced all the others, and you want to rotate into one that hasn't yet moved. That's going to have to be your decision. But I like all of those projects for this cycle for sure. Now, what else is going to sustain that upward movement? Well, Bitcoin whales bought over 70,000 Bitcoin. Let's reread that. Bitcoin whales have bought over 70,000 Bitcoin in the last 48 hours, totaling more than $7.28 billion. That is incredible. The whales are here. The whales are just starting to wake up. And there's whales that are not even involved yet, that when they do get involved, they're not going to get involved with $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. They're not going to buy 4 Bitcoin. They're not going to buy 7. These are big players globally. Do you all realize there's over 50 million millionaires globally? Over 50, I think it's actually more like, I think the number is 64 plus or minus 64 million millionaires. And this is all the way from 1 million up. You know, there's like over 8,000 billionaires. There's so many people that are yet to even enter this market. So when we see metrics like this and realize that this is only going to get stronger here this year into the next, into the coming time frame. And then we see everybody's wondering, I shared this with TJ this morning, everybody's wondering why ETH is not performing, but you're looking at the wrong timeline. Since early December, ETH has taken the lead, outperforming the other two assets. The lead meaning which has grown the most. So while ETH is up 17%, Sol is sitting there a little weak, and this is to be expected because with Solana, you have to understand, Solana has had a major move all the way from back here when it was way down here. If you measure this move from down here, hit shift, click, go all the way to that top where that is right there. That is 32x from the bottom. It makes sense if it cools for a second and some of that capital gets focused in other places for a moment. It doesn't mean Solana is not going to continue to run, but as Matthew Hyland has kind of been pointing out on his Twitter, on his X post, Solana is actually bleeding a little bit against, and some of the bearish structures it's showing against Ethereum, against XRP, against Bitcoin. And it's to be expected with this amount of gains that have been had from a lot of players that can rotate some of those profits to other stuff. That doesn't mean it's over for Solana. It just means right now it makes sense if Solana is slowing down a bit. And this is why you also need to make sure you're not sleeping on ETH, because I do expect ETH to have a very explosive Q1, probably all the way into Q2 and beyond, depending on when we get that pullback in the crypto market before we get that final leg up towards the middle end of next year. Then continuing on, we see Avalanche. I know I've covered this, but I just want to re-emphasize how important this is. Avalanche upgrade, that some of the evolutions they've had in their network, introduces the ETNA upgrades to mainnet, ushering in a new era for developers and users on Avalanche. 99.9% reduction in L1 development costs. This is going to bring people to develop on that space, making the ecosystem stronger. 96% drop in C chain fees. Remember, Avalanche has 3 different chains. It helps partition and sort of compartmentalize the different types of transactions and trading and NFTs and all, moving money. That way, if you have some sort of explosion in NFTs, that doesn't slow down your ability to transact just basically swaps and sending money and receiving money. They have the really beautiful way they set it up. Also, spin up L1s quickly using primary C chain. Full control to customize staking, gas, tokens, and more. Customizable compliance and geo-restrict. I mean, they're setting this up to be the ecosystem to build in, or at least start gaining a good amount of market share there. So this, while it may not have the impact today, it's not pumping right now. I'm looking at this, and one of the reasons why Avalanche is one of those larger holdings in my altcoin portfolio that I've been stacking along with all of you. So this is very bullish, and this is exemplified on this chart right here. Transacting on Avalanche just teleported to one of the lowest cost chains in existence. The rollout is just beginning. I mean, look at this. The fast on the C chain, about 3 cents. Standard on the C chain, about 16 100ths. Is that what that is? Or 16? Yeah. And then down here all the way to 11. I mean, this is so cheap. And I think this is going to help position them for longer play in the space. Now, when we're looking at the market right now, we got about 6 minutes and then we have to roll. Let's go ahead and refresh this, because the market has been, look at this, came up here. Let's make this full screen actually. Where is the full screen? Boom. We see that the market came up here on FOMO.io, came up here, cleared this liquidity, and then comes down and attacks that liquidity below us. And now it's kind of deciding what direction it wants to go. And as Mike Alfred pointed out on one of his posts earlier today, we have that potential rate cut tomorrow. Markets saw a little bit of a dip here in the traditional asset space today. So there's a little bit of like, okay, let's kind of shake the dust off a little bit. Let's chop some people out. And then after tomorrow, I think that Thursday into the weekend, we'll likely see a continuation of the upside. But that can always change. But this is kind of the playbook that has happened, rinse and repeat on a regular basis. So when we're looking at what's going on here and realize, again, 3-day chart, realize that this has just been, this is incredible what we've seen from the market cycle low here to where we're at. We're up basically a 6x from the bottom down here. And people are wondering why it's not moving. You just got into the wrong part of the market, and you're expecting it to continue doing this. And I do think we still have a lot of upside. Is it going to 6x from here in this cycle? That's probably a little bit too lofty of an expectation. But when we look at this on the 1 hour chart and realize this is just kind of, look, it's been kind of melting to the upside. Okay, little dip. Now it's pushing up again. I would not be surprised if we got another little dip that came down into this region, this 103, 102 region that tests basically these highs and these highs in the zone, which would ultimately be a bear trap, most likely, for a continuation up. If that doesn't happen, then that's the bearish case. Because look at this. Look at all of this bearishness on the BitLab trading stack. So much bearishness that we're seeing there amongst every signal that's on this whole oscillator system here on the 1 hour. If this is able to hold here, because this retest did kind of test these highs, if this holds here and starts pushing back up, great. We're watching this zone right here between basically 107.5 all the way up here. One of my favorite radio stations as a kid in Houston, 107.5 The Buzz. But if we can push up back above this 107.5 and actually take out this, basically not only 108, but all the way up past this 109, I do think we will get another extension to the upside. Now, when we consider what's going on with Ethereum, look at this, kind of bull trapped us up into here. It comes right back down. As it stands right now, we have a bit of a shelf here. The problem that I see here is, as bullish as this might feel with these higher lows, notice that we also have a pretty wide, upward angled, broadening wedge. Now, as bullish as I am, and I just said, I do think Ethereum is going to be pumping, especially in Q1, we're still ripe for washouts because there's so much underlying bullishness. People get a little too excited. And while everybody is expecting this to go up, we do have this broadening wedge here that does suggest that we could probably come down. And I would suggest it would probably be kind of somewhere in this zone between 3,700 to 3,800 if that happens. However, I would not count on that and, have a exciting sort of limit order in this zone, but I would not be surprised, as has happened regularly, rinse and repeat on this market over and over again, much like we saw this washout to the downside before upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a small move down here to trap people short, to then move back up and then get that release to the upside. So let's be cautious right now between today and the end of tomorrow and see where the direction the market wants to go through the rest of the week, which I think we'll understand by the end of the day tomorrow in the early morning Thursday. But I am leaning to the bullish case. Watch out for the bearish traps if they do come in. As I said, with XRP, we do have, that's a 1 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour here. We do have this breakout that has happened on XRP that is, top of news right now with the RLUSD rollout. As it stands right now, we do see this, fairly bullish. I won't call it an inverted head and shoulders, but the bullish, similar sort of structure that's coming into this, finding a little bit of support here, but there's choppy money flow here that's not fully agreeing. Remember, there's a very regular saying in these markets: buy the rumor, sell the news. Now, I'm not saying that you should sell XRP, but be cognizant that if we do get a little bit of that hype evaporate and we do get a move to the downside, I do think that we could find a good opportunity if the XRP price does reverse and we come down here to the 235 zone or potentially even lower to retest. I would suggest retest somewhere in this region here in the 210, 215. If that upsets you, then you're being biased on your asset. If this is able to continue on this is looking like it's also trying to melt up a bit, but you're seeing the bearishness is starting to come in. If this is able to break out, I'd be watching this 290 region. If we can take that out, then maybe we are going to continue to the upside. Crow also with some bullish news with the photo with Donald Trump and the CEO of Crow. My only retort on that would be this is looking a little bit kind of imbalanced, just pretty fast move up. This is looking a little bit like we may get a Bart Simpson pattern that may come down. Let's see where that would be. Golly, this is option J. If we lose 15 cents on this, I do think this is coming lower, and I think that would come to roughly about 11 cents there. Coming into this zone here, I think would be a good opportunity to pick up before continuation. If this is able to just maintain that that bullish narrative, with everything going on, then I'm watching for a break above 22 cents and then a likely continuation to the upside. Now, let's do option F from the top to the bottom. And again, I'm sorry I'm running so fast today, guys. I know the show had to be a little bit shorter, so I just want to get through as much as possible. And I will be doing, for the members, I will be doing a TA section, Turbo TA, that's going to go out this afternoon. If you want to be able to access that, remember to come down here into the description. And all of our sponsors links are right here. nordvpn.com/BitLab, getarculus.com. Use code BitLab20 for 20% off. Our free traders group right here. That link, get in there. All you have to do is sign up with CoinW and you get access to that. But then right here, join to become a member. If I click on this, I could go to this page right here, and I'm going to share it with you all. And remember, those links are going to be here either in the post, it might say community, or here in the membership is where I am going to share those with you all. Let me go ahead and post this link for any of you that want to become a member of the BitLab YouTube and get involved there. If you're in the BitLab Discord, BitLab Academy Discord, you get access to that as well. I'll be posting that in the Kelly Access channel. But Crow, if this is able to break back above 21, 22 cents, we may be attacking this 23.6. And then the next level up would be, I'm going to be a little bit more circumspect, a little bit shorter term right here, 25 cents. Then, of course, gets really bullish when we break through that. We're targeting the 34-cent mark. Of course, Cardano, a little bit of FUD that was happening there with Cardano this morning. This is looking a little bearish, looking a little bit head and shoulders-y. But again, I keep seeing bearish patterns trying to trick people short that then can have the fake out to the downside that then continue up. As it stands where it is right now, if this is able to hold this level, especially above 91 cents, but if this is able to hold this level, the next target up we're watching is in this $1.17 and then $1.34 above that. But that's super quick today. We're just running through the data. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm gonna shoot you over to, I don't even know if they're gonna be going live early, but I'm gonna shoot you over to the Blockchain Basement show. We can just get their live chat in there. I'm going to be co-hosting a space on Mario Nafal here in about 3 minutes talking about the Pengu airdrop, and got some of the people from that community. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you are participating in any of these live streams that you're watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Make sure you stay on the right side of this trend. I love you. I will be back, of course, tomorrow, but make sure you tune into that Turbo TA thing later for all you members. And with that, adios, muchachos.